All right, welcome. Here we are at part 2 into our flight from Providence, Rhode Island to Galveston, Texas. We are 3 hours and 25 minutes and 27 seconds into this flight. And we're descending from 44,000 feet, right now descending through 28,600. Currently 94 miles from the airport. Do some housekeeping here. Interesting thing to mention here. The sim showed an RNAV approach only to runway 14, but the published approach plates show that there is an ILS approach to runway 14. So that's interesting because it's not in the sim, but I nevertheless am going to enter the frequency associated with that ILS approach into runway 14, which is 111.7. So we'll enter that. If it's not in the sim, programmed into the sim, then we're going to be shit out of luck. But we can still do the RNAV approach, at least in theory. The VOR frequency for Galveston is 113.0. So we're entering both of those. And we'll enter on bearing 2, nav 2, and see if we have any info from Galveston. Yes, we do. 71 miles. That's very good. It's always encouraging. Anyway, so there is an ILS approach into runway 14. In real life, anyway. But not... it didn't appear in the sim, but we'll see what happens. You never know, right? Weather in Galveston is 48 degrees and cloudy. Winds are out of the northeast at 8 miles an hour. We're landing sort of to the east-southeast, so we should expect a partial crosswind, assuming that the real weather has been imported into the sim. Pressure's 3017. So anyway, we'll see how this goes. Been a while since I've done a long flight. I've been doing a lot of short hops lately, but there we go. I'm starting to see some signs of civilization. Cloudy, completely socked in the East Coast. Maybe not foggy, but I didn't see squat. I flew right over LaGuardia, New York City, flew just northwest of D.C., looked down, couldn't see anything, nothing. So we didn't get much in the way of scenery on this one. This is another reason why I'm flying west, just to get back into my own time zone. But it's been an uneventful flight. We've been dealing with a headwind, huge headwind, the whole flight. Keep in mind the sim estimated the flight duration at 2 hours 54 minutes, 1,378 nautical miles, and as I said, we're 3 hours and 28 minutes in. So that should tell you everything you need to know about the headwind we've been dealing with. It was in excess of 90 knots the whole time. Now it's at 38, a little more manageable. Showing 70 miles from the airport right now. We want to be at about 21,000 feet. We're at 22.3, so that's just fine. Slightly increase our descent rate just to catch up a little bit. Runway we're landing on 6,000 feet long, so I've been spoiled landing on some of these longer runways. 6,000 feet's not the longest runway in the world, I'll tell you that much. We're going to have to prepare ourselves mentally to plant this bird. No floating, no trying to butter it, just get these wheels on the ground. Airport elevation 6 feet, right at sea level. Approach course to runway 14 is 138. And our minimums are 205. Not that they're going to be an issue in this weather, but we'll still enter. And Barrow minimums 205. All right. So, you know, fingers crossed. I mean, I've said before and I'll say it again, I don't sugarcoat any of this stuff. I don't edit anything. If I eat shit, you guys all get to see it happen. When I say you guys, of course, I'm referring to the absent audience. But hey, listen, that's how it goes. Okay, 60 miles out now. We want to be at 18,000 feet. We're at 19.4. Knots indicated airspeed 296, showing 45.5 nautical miles to the airport. You can actually see this map here. This is sort of called a visualized simulation. Galveston's obviously on an island, so looking forward to being south and west as it relates to some of my future flights in the coming days. In the dead of almost the winter solstice like this, the northern hemisphere, the farther north you go, man, the fewer hours of daylight you have. And because I have a job, when I get home, as much as I'd like to fly, flying in the night gets tiresome. Staying at the San Luis Resort, beachfront hotel and spa in Galveston tonight. 3018. Okay, that's what Betty's telling us is our nearest altimeter. Let's see, 2992. Let's synchronize. 3029. Okay. Plausibly within the tolerance range. Let's start slowing down a little bit. Let's do it. I'd like to not have to deal with that goddamn landing gear alarm, so let's do it in increments. Looking good though, so far. Okay, keep slowing here in increments, 5 knots at a time. Do need to start slowing down. 50 miles now from the airport. We're at 16,000 feet. 15,000 is where we kind of want to be, but we're more than comfortable. Another 5 knots down to 280. Yeah, never been to Galveston. Willing to try it though. It's kind of fun to imagine flying somewhere and, you know, pre-COVID. Here's our approach path. Flying right here. That's us. Turn left at Usenu. And then it's approached from Usenu to Swain. Published approach plate shows not a lot in terms of information, but at Swain we need to be at 1,800 feet. And then there's the airport. Runway 14, southeast. That's the direction we're going to be going. So you see, here we are. We're going to be there in no time. Keep slowing. Now showing 40 miles from the airport and at 13.6. Increase our descent rate slightly. We want to be at 250. Let's turn off our bank angle limiter to allow the airplane to turn more steeply now that we're at a safer, lower altitude. $40 miles now from the airport. Well, actually, we're not 40 miles from the airport. We have 40 miles left on our route. So at 40 miles, you want to be at 12,000 feet. We're at 12,200, so it's looking good. Shallow out that descent rate slightly. Obviously, the more we slow down, the less steeply we need to descend, if that makes sense. Let's go ahead and activate bearing 1, nav 1 on the off chance that the... Oh, I love it! IGLS, India Golf Lima Sierra. That's very interesting to me because the sim on the setup page did not show a ILS approach available for runway 14. It only showed an RNAV in Galveston. If I'm missing something, somebody tell me, because that's what I saw on the setup page. But the approach plate showed, the published FAA approach plate showed that there was an ILS approach to runway 111.7. And it's showing up. So that's good. I always want to do an ILS approach if I can. Always. Always. Because your life's a lot easier with an ILS approach. Okay, we're coming below 10,000. We're still a little faster than we want to be, just slightly. That's 257. We're going to be at 250. And I'm going to keep slowing just very, very gingerly here, because I don't want to have to deal with that alarm. 32 miles out, now 9,200 feet, that's fine. Keep slowing. And when I say alarm, it's just the landing gear alarm. It's a quirk of the sim. We did encounter some icing. We're going to turn off our anti-icing equipment except for our pitot heat, because we encountered some icing on our climb out from Providence, but we're not going to have that issue here. Outside air temperature now 6. And although it's described as cloudy, I'm not seeing much in the way of clouds. I feel like, well, maybe I am. Well, I don't know. I was looking left and right of the aircraft, but as you can see, we're over water right now, so. Keep slowing.
Landing gear.
There it is.
Landing gear.
We're going to have to
Landing
deploy
gear.
our speed brakes
Landing
as
gear.
usual and take advantage of the fact that they're deployed to slow us down to
Landing gear.
190. How's that?
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
And we'll wait.
Landing
We're
gear.
fully deployed on our
Landing
speed brakes.
gear.
These will eventually
Landing gear.
compensate and start moving forward. There it is. See? Good. Okay, now we're at a more comfortable speed. First left turn coming up here at Bobble, whatever. Looking good, though. Yeah, you see? Turn left like that. Got to go from Bobble to Usanu. Once we turn left at Usanu, it's straight in, man. So, shallow out. 24 miles now at 6,200, so we can shallow out our descent rate a little bit. Nothing to worry about. 185. 23 nautical miles. Showing 6 minutes, 29 seconds. Probably more like 8 minutes. If true, that would put us on the ground at about... my estimated arrival time, I think I said... I think I said 10:03 p.m. No, 10:02. I said 10:02 p.m. Galveston time, which would be 0402 Zulu, and Pacific Standard Time 8:02 p.m. But if we are in fact on the ground in about 8 or 9 minutes, then that would put us slightly early. Works for me. Gentle, slow down. Gentle deceleration. Coming up on Usanu now, just 7.2 nautical miles from Usanu, 7.1, and specifically 1 minute 58 seconds. So that's good. That, basically what that means is that in 1 minute 58 seconds, we're going to turn left and begin our final approach. Do not your flaps. See our angle of attack indicator there. Now it's getting better. You don't want that AOA arrow anywhere in that red zone. That's trouble. Once we turn final, we'll switch our nav source over to nav 1 and then turn on the APPR just like we've gotten used to doing. Yeah, I've got the ground in sight, so when they say cloudy, it's got to be above us. 17 miles and 4,900 feet, about 400 feet higher than we want to be, so increase our descent rate slightly. Go ahead and activate our landing lights. A little tailwind right now, 11 knots. See? Right there. Okay, showing 44 seconds now. 44 seconds to our left turn. 41, 40, 39. If I were NASA, I'd say T minus 34 seconds to left turn. 15 miles and 4,400 feet. Shallow at our descent rate. Slowest to 175. Here comes that left turn. There it is. Nice. Looking good. Recalibrate our altimeter, 30.30. That's good. Okay, this is going to see the airport out here in the distance. At least we should. Let's continue slowing. Let's do flaps and
Landing
gear. There's the runway. Set 160. There's the runway. See it? We'll switch this over to nav 1 and switch this to APPR and pray to God. You see here? And we already grabbed the glide slope. God damn it. That's fantastic. Oh, that makes me happy. So we are on the glide slope and we have intercepted the localizer. Everything's going great. Full flaps and 150. There is some haze. I am actually seeing some clouds. Not a lot, but there's some there. Tilt a slight bank to the right here to get back on the center line. You see how we're a little bit off. And the CDI also is consistent with that. Winds are pretty stiff coming at us. A crosswind 16 knots from this direction, as I suspected. Out of the, well, it's correct. It's out of the northeast. It's all right, though. We can handle it. There's our runway. There it is. White, red on the poppy, and you see green diamond dead center. Airspeed's a little bit low, about 2 knots lower than we want it to be. Let's up that a little bit. There we go. That crosswind has turned into a little bit of a weird, hard left quartering tailwind, but it's not. I don't think it's something that's going to be too problematic. Whoa! That's kind of a weird angle, isn't it? Whoa! There we go. There's our passenger's view. There's the passenger's view. Okay. 149. It's hovering between 149 and 150. Okay, that's all right. I'm going to take it up to 153. Give us a little tiny cushion. This is a short runway, though. Remember that, folks. Okay, so let me apologize in advance. We're 6 miles now from the airport, established on the localizer and on the glide slope. Landing lights are on. Full flaps, you see right there. Full flaps. Dump air pressure. Now that we're at 1,700 feet. Depressurized before landing, after all. 5 miles. Disconnect auto throttle. To calibrate that throttle now that I've disconnected it. Stand by. There we go. There we go. All right. Still on that glide slope perfectly. I don't know if you can see it. I see white, white, red, red. Just perfect. Autopilot's still controlling, but I have the throttle control.
Final runway 14.
2-mile final. We'll wait for the 500 call out to disconnect the auto throttle. Winds have diminished slightly, but we do have an 8-knot tailwind, which I'm not happy about. That can fuck you up. Fingers crossed. They keep diminishing. Runway's completely in sight. 500 AGL, according. There it is. Okay, autopilot's disconnected.
Autopilot.
I have the airplane. Short runway. I'm going to keep telling myself that. Plant this thing on the ground. Go for reds on the poppy. Not too many reds, but I got to get this bird on the ground. That tailwind's already messing with me. I know it's all red. Pop up. Damn it. Okay, that's better. There you go. Come on, 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 come on. Planter, planter. Let's get it on the ground, get it on the ground, get it on the ground, get it on the ground. Flow. Whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. Get it on the ground. Come on! Whoa, Jesus. Reverse thrusters, spoilers deployed. You know what? That actually went okay. I mean, it was a rough landing, I admit. It was a rough landing. And we used up we used up that runway for sure. But here we are exiting where we are fully permitted to. That was great. That was fantastic. Oh, I can't wait to watch that again to check my errors. Okay, so let's get off. We're off the runway now. We're on the taxiway. Let's stop at the bars. Let's do a quick cleanup. I looked at this airport diagram. I knew I was going to use up every inch of this runway. Sure enough. Okay. Speed brakes retracted. Flaps. Good. Switch this over to taxis and pulse off. Okay. Now we're taxi to parking, and that's it, folks. Let's wrap this up. Oh, I almost forgot. Timer. 3:47. Stop. Okay. All right, let's get to parking. That was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. That was a great landing. Zoom in on our... I mean, well, I don't know how great it was, but it was any landing that you can, credibly claim to be within the envelope of safety. And, it's a 6,000 foot long runway, and that's not long. And, we planted it. I don't know, I'll rewatch that, but I mean, I felt us coming in, and then ground effect took in, and we did float a little bit, but we still got that. I'll have to check back on the video as to how far down we were, in relation to the 1,000 foot markers. But anyway, welcome to Galveston. It's 10 o'clock Galveston time. So our 10:02 arrival estimate was pretty darn good. I'll be glad to be in an area where we where it's not dark at 1 in the afternoon, which is the functional equivalent of my situation since I am in LA. If only I would fly in whatever time I wanted to, my life would be simpler, but I just can't bring myself to do it. There's our parking over there. I don't know, I felt like this went exceedingly well. I mean, I'll watch it again later, and I'm sure I'll see 1,000 things I did wrong. I don't know how big this airport is in real. I mean, like, is it? I don't know. Is Galveston a major destination? You might ask, why are you flying to Galveston? Has there ever been a plane in the history of aviation that flew from Providence to Galveston? I don't know. As for why I'm flying to Galveston, well, who was it? Was it Edmund Hillary that said because it's there? I'm noticing there's no taxi lines for me to try to follow. So I'm just having to wing it. Looks like we got a vehicle. What is that, a fire truck? Oh, there's a Cessna. Easy there, Cochise. We're going to drive through a fire truck right now, you guys. Let's go outside. This will be funny. Hello. I think my wings are clipping the Cessnas. Hey, it's not my fault. I'm following the blue arrows. All right. Let's wrap this up. It's been a long night. Long flight. Good flight, though. Fun. Oh, God help me finding the flashlight guy. Have to make a huge U-turn here. Jesus. Okay, start looking. I can't even imagine how many airplanes I'm driving through right now. Oh, Jesus. Hey, it's not my fault. They told me to go this way. Is this... What the... Nothing personal. Sorry. Come on. There you go. Wow. This is... I wonder how many longitudes land at Galveston. Let's go right through that Pilatus. Oh goodness, this is tight quarters. What is it? What the? I guess we're not getting any flashlights. No. Well, we basically followed their instructions. Well, I feel bad that my wing is in that engine block of that car. All right, that's better. Okay, so, well, when this happens, I look at the airport diagram to see if my parking position is plausible, and it clearly is. So, all right, that's it, friends. Welcome to Galveston. It's 10 o'clock. Let's head over to our fancy pants place that we're staying, the San Luis Resort Beachfront Hotel and Spa. But not before we turn on our parking brake and kill our engines. I presume we're going to drop to the logbook screen. Nope. Yesterday it dropped to the logbook screen when I did that. What do you know? All right. Well, in that case, wrap up our shutdown procedures. And then we'll turn off our lights. Okay. Gens and batteries. Still not going to the logbook screen. Okay, well that's it for us on my end. Thank you for joining me. And let me bring up this. There it is. That was fun. I enjoyed it. We'll see where we head next.